Uh, Good morning, guys. I'm delighted to be here with Mr. John Aldag, our Member of Parliament in the city of Surrey, and I have the privilege and honor of having a short discussion with him and talk about his success story. So, Mr. John, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate that for being with me here and spending some time with me. Now, just wanted to learn from your success story. How did you start your career? So if you don't mind, possibly you could share a little bit about your background of yourself and how did you start your life's journey to accomplish this level of success?
Sure, absolutely. I'll tell you a bit about myself. So I was born and raised on a farm in Saskatchewan, and my great grandfather had homesteaded, and so there was always this thought that perhaps I would be a farmer, and enjoyed the works and work and challenges involved with that life. I also enjoyed education and school, and I thought, well, at the end of high school, maybe there was an opportunity to go and do a bit more formal learning. And so I went to university. The idea was that I could perhaps be a teacher, and enjoyed that. I was looking for a summer job, and after my first year of university, I went to the Student Employment Center and I found a posting for a job with Parks Canada. And I thought, oh, that seems really good. I like the outdoors, I like wilderness as well. And so I put my name in. I was very fortunate. So that was my first summer. Went back to university, and then the next summer I was able to go back and work with Parks Canada. That became my accidental career. And as a result of that, I worked with the organization for more than 3 decades. And I thought that was my life calling. It was public service. It was
Wow.
dealing with environmental issues. It was dealing with education. It was dealing with a lot of things that I loved and was passionate about. Then a few years ago, I felt that perhaps my life experiences had taken me or given me some things that would allow me to contribute to society in different ways. And I didn't really know what that looked like. And then one day I was watching the news, and there was a political discussion going on, and I thought maybe my life skills have been the training for politics. And so I started talking to people who had been in politics to see if it was something I might be interested in. I thought it would be fascinating to be in public service, but on the policy and legislation side of things. And so I pursued that. That became my new dream.
Wow.
And and one thing led to another, and here I am now as the elected official for Cloverdale Langley City.
Awesome. Wow. That was an interesting journey of success. And now I know for sure, a lot of time we plan something and we have some strengths in ourselves. But we also find ourselves by way of limitations that, okay, we are good in something, but we have to learn and grow in certain things to be able to accomplish our goals and dreams. So, what were your strong areas when you started your career, and what are the areas where you felt you had to really work on to grow yourself or improve yourself?
Right. My strengths, I found I love meeting people and hearing their stories, finding connections with people and trying to make connections with the messages that I have from an organizational perspective to make it relevant to people. And so, knowing my own personal interests and that willingness and desire to connect with people really has served me well throughout my career. So I was able to um, you know, ask people questions, learn, listen, and then find those meaningful connections so that whatever we were talking about would actually have meaning and relevance to people. So I think that's really key, is knowing your own strengths and interests. I also loved education. I realized at one point in my career that I had not taken my education far enough. I had not actually finished my undergraduate degree, and that became a barrier. I could only go so far in my career without a formal degree.
Right.
And so when I was about 40 years old, I decided it was time to go back to school.
Oh, wow.
And I completed my Bachelor of Business Administration. I enjoyed it so much, I went on to do a Master's in Business
Wow.
Administration,
Wow.
MBA. And that inspired me to continue. And so I did other master's level courses at two other universities beyond that point.
Hmm.
And that was a limitation. I also realized that having only one language when you're in the federal public service in Canada was a limitation. And so I pursued French as a second language throughout my entire life, and I
Wow.
continue. I
Wow.
still wouldn't consider myself fluently bilingual, but
Yeah.
I continue to work at, and I think that we all need to understand where we need to improve
Mm-hmm.
and accept those challenges and work on it.
Right. Okay, excellent. So what in this journey of success, was there any specific challenge you felt you had to overcome and to be able to accomplish your goals and dreams?
I would say there were many challenges, and probably the biggest one, and one of the big lessons I've taken is that sometimes it's really easy to set your focus or your sights on something, and seeing it as the only opportunity. I learned over the years that sometimes if there was a different job that I wanted and I wasn't successful, that that in itself presented opportunities. Or
Yes.
if there was a new job that I wasn't particularly interested in, but was encouraged to do and was
Right.
successful, that also gave opportunities. So I think I've always looked at life as a series of doors opening and closing. And I think that whatever happens, there is an opportunity behind that. So if a door doesn't open for you, then in whatever situation you find yourself in, you can still find it. So in positions or cases where I didn't get a new job, I would look at how I could grow myself and grow the organization.
Mm-hmm.
It was things like how can I take on a leadership role
Right.
that I may not have had officially through the organization? What could I do within my realm of influence?
Right.
And that created great opportunities for me to do new and interesting things within my career. I also had doors that opened to me, such as politics,
Right.
and that presents all sorts of new and exciting
Oh
opportunities.
yeah.
So it's always looking for whatever situation life hands you. What's the opportunity to grow and learn from, and by remaining positive, I think there's no end of possibilities for success and moving forward through life.
Yeah, you very rightly said being positive, and having positive expectations. That's really incredible message.
Right.
So going forward, if would you like to give a message to youth who have maybe entering the college or entering, a career path? Sometimes they're not very sure and they get distracted. They are not very comfortable. They're not very confident. So would you like to have a message for them, say a message for them, how to plan their careers and work on that?
I'd say that life has changed significantly since I started my career many years ago. And in that day, it was not uncommon to dream of having one career and advance within an organization. I think anymore, youth have many opportunities and in all likelihood, many careers. So I think that a bit of advice I would have simply is if you don't know what you want to do today, don't worry about it because you may have an opportunity to do something different in the future.
Right.
I would say embrace whatever it is you decide to do today. Do the best of it you can. And if you decide that it's not the right fit or that you're ready for a new challenge, then move on and try something different. It mean upgrading your skills,
Yes.
trying different things, making different networks, contacts. But it's always about remaining a bit agile,
Yeah.
personal reflection, personal growth, and you'll be well positioned for a successful future.
Wow, that's a great message for youth. And how do you define success, Mr. John?
Success, it's I think that success for me comes with a sense of personal fulfillment. I
Yeah.
believe that success is happiness. I don't tend to judge myself through other people's eyes,
Yep.
because I have people that I know people that are more than willing to point out shortcomings of of myself and
Mm-hmm.
others, and I think success I define it on my terms, and and I like to continue myself and see what the next success might look like.
Yes.
And so
So
it's
the
always about those incremental
so it could be
challenges.
evolving.
Yeah,
Even the
absolutely.
definition of success could be evolving for you.
I
You
believe so.
have a plan, you have a target, and you accomplish that. That's success accomplished. But then you have set new targets
Yes.
and new plans for yourself,
Yeah.
and then you accomplish that. That's the next stage of success.
Yes.
And in every stage, we learn a lot.
Yeah, and I believe it's that continuum that at
And
no
it's a
point do you ever.
continual
Yeah,
process.
exactly. And I think that there are probably many people that we see as successful that may not be done their adventures in life, and it's just about, like I say, that personal reflection, personal push,
Yes.
innovation, adventure,
Yes.
and seeing what tomorrow's success might look like.
Wow, That was awesome. Oh, that was incredible sharing of thoughts and story with, Mr. John. I really appreciate that.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thanks
and
for
good
your
luck to
time.
all of your viewers and their future successes.
Thank you very much.